Good evening and welcome to Bharat News on Bharat TV. My name is Shajiv Jagannathan and here are tonight's top headlines. U.S. Defense Secretary issues a Taiwan warning, and Harvard visa applicants face new screenings. The FBI probes Susie Willis impersonations, and transgender athlete wins state titles in California. The FDA greenlights a new Moderna vaccine, and India rebuffs Pakistan over Indus Water Treaty. And the criticism is mounting over Amit Shah's remarks in Bengal, and the floods killed 22 in northeast India. The ADB pledges $10 billion for India cities, Ukraine disrupts Crimea supply lines, and violent riots are erupting in Paris following PSG's Champion League loss. So let's dive right into tonight's details. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has warned Chinese military action against Taiwan could be imminent during Saturday's speech at Singapore's Shangri-La Dialogue Security Summit. The Trump administration designates Indo-Pacific as priority theater while pledging continued support for regional allies against Chinese aggression. Hegseth declared America will not be pushed out, while emphasizing respect for Chinese civilization, but rejection of intimidation tactics. China has invested heavily in military buildup, with increased naval presence around Taiwan through almost daily border harassment campaigns. And the recent developments raise concerns across Beijing is preparing a forceful retaking of the island nation it considers a breakaway province. Federal officials begin reviewing social media accounts of Harvard University visa applicants for signs of anti-Semitism, following Trump administration's clash with Ivy League institutions. Secretary of State Marco Rubio's cable to all embassies accuses the university of failing to prevent campus violence and anti-Semitism. The new vetting measures takes effect immediately, as the pilot program potentially expanding to other institutions targeting foreign students and visitors. The federal government previously stripped Harvard of over $2.6 billion in grants, while President Trump threatens to revoke their tax-exempt status. More than a quarter of Harvard's Cambridge campus consists of foreign students from over 100 countries, mostly graduate students. The FBI is investigating mysterious calls and texts from imposter claiming to be White House Chief of Staff Susie Willis, targeting governors and Congress members. Sources report the imposter uses Willis's voice while occasionally requesting money from high-ranking Republican officials with access to top administration circles. The White House has confirmed taking cybersecurity threats seriously, while FBI Director Kash Patel emphasizes the protection administrating officials' secure communications. Incidents followed Trump campaign's phishing attacks by Iran during the 2024 election season that accessed internal campaign materials. The FBI and White House have not identified its perpetrator or explained how imposters accessed Willis's phone contacts. A transgender student, A.B. Hernandez, won the girls' high school jump and triple jump state championships at California's track meet, despite Trump administration's warnings. The Yoruba Valley High School athlete also finished second in high jump, with female competitor Lauren Webster being the only biological female to defeat Hernandez. California's Interscholastic Federation implemented rule changes ensuring female competitors receive appropriate medals based on placement among biological females. Medal ceremonies featured female athletes standing beside transgender competitors on podiums after being bumped up one position. The event drew conflicting protests between pro-LGBTQ and pro-female demonstrators, wielding opposition signs and messaging throughout the weekend competition. The FDA has approved Moderna's new mNEXSpike COVID-19 vaccine on Friday, with age restrictions limiting use to adults 65 and older, plus high-risk individuals 12 through 64. The new vaccine uses 1/5 the dosage of the existing Spikevax through refined immune targeting, representing step toward next-generation coronavirus vaccines. The approval restricted to same populations as competitor Novavax departed from previous universal availability, reflecting the Trump administration's vaccine skepticism. A study of over 11,400 people showed new low-dose vaccines were safe and at least as effective as the original shot. Now, the approval comes days after the Trump administration canceled Moderna's pandemic flu vaccine development funding, including the H5N1 bird flu research. India has dismissed Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's allegations that suspending Indus Water Treaty violated international law. Jal Shakti Minister Advisor Khushwinder Vohra declared that India's decision was legally valid under international law, citing independent fundamental circumstantial changes. The Vienna Convention on Treaties doesn't restrict the apply to 1960 IWT, as convention became ineffective in 1980 after the treaty signing. India suspended the treaty following Pakistan's actions against Spirit of Goodwill and Friendship, a cornerstone plus terrorism violations. Pakistan challenged India's decision at the United Nations Glacier Conference, while India condemned Pakistan's treaty violations through terroristic activities. Trinamool Congress MP Sagarika Ghose condemned the Home Minister Amit Shah's language against West Bengal CM Mamata Banerjee during his state visit. Ghose accused Shah of speaking like a BJP worker, not a Home Minister, while Trinamool stands with the government of India on national issues. Now, Shah has allegedly accused Banerjee of turning Bengal into a land of infiltration, atrocities on women, bomb blasts, and immorality with Hindus. The Home Minister claimed hundreds of BJP workers were killed under Banerjee's tenure while predicting 2026 assembly election victory. Ghose characterized Shah's politics as divide and rule tactics while defending Banerjee's leadership record. Torrential monsoons have triggered landslides and flash flooding across India's northeast, killing at least 22 people on Saturday. 5 people, including a family of 3, died when mudslide buried homes in Assam's Guwahati city. 7 were killed in the Arunachal Pradesh, while a vehicle was swept away by floodwaters, with 2 additional drowning deaths reported. 8 people have died across Mizoram, Tripura, and Meghalaya states, with floods and mudslides in 24-hour periods. Authorities disconnected electricity in Assam areas while schools closed amid continued heavy rain forecasts for vulnerable climate change region. The Asian Development Bank has pledged up to $10 billion for India's urban transformation, including metro extensions, over the next 5 years, following ADB President Masato Kanda's meeting with Prime Minister Modi on Saturday. Kanda has emphasized cities as engaging engines of growth, while promising to mobilize capital and accelerate delivery, supporting India's Viksit Bharat 2047 vision. The transformation plan combines sovereign loans, private sector funding, and third-party capitals anchored by India's flagship Urban Challenge Fund. And the ADB committed over $3 million in technical assistance for designing bankable projects and strengthening state and urban local body capacities. The initiative targeted 100 cities with analytical work on growth hubs, creating redevelopment and water sanitizations upgrades as India's urban population approaches over 40% by 2030. The Ukraine military intelligence reports destroying Russia's military freight train carrying food and fuel en route to occupied Crimea. The GOR statement claimed that Moscow's key supply artery to Russia-occupied Zaporizhzhia region and Crimea has been eliminated. The attacks targeted critical logistics supporting Russian military operations in the occupied Ukrainian territories, including strategic Crimean Peninsula. Ukrainian intelligence did not directly claim responsibility for the bridge explosion in Russia, but emphasized the supply route disruption's success. The incident represents continued Ukrainian efforts to disrupt Russian military logistics and supply chains supporting occupation forces. Riots erupted across Paris on Saturday night after Paris Saint-Germain's dramatic loss in the Borussia Dortmund in the UEFA Championship League final. Several furious fans clashed with riot police near the Champs-Élysées and set fire to scooters, looted stores, and threw projectiles. The police deployed tear gas and water cannons as more than 250 people were arrested. The PSG's 2-1 defeat in Wembley, despite high expectations, sparked outrage among fans who had gathered in central Paris to celebrate. French officials condemned the violence while PSG players appealed for calm. The unrest is being investigated, and security will remain extremely heightened in the days ahead. That is it for tonight's news on Bharat TV. For more like this news and others, follow us on social media and visit our website. Signing off for today, your host, Shajiv Jagannathan, wishing you well.